So I'm just going to explain to you how cross-stitch charts work. So they all work in pretty much the same way. I'm going to show you one of my charts because I've got them to hand and I can explain exactly how they work. But whatever cross-stitch kit or pattern you have, it should work in a pretty similar way. So what I've got here is inside the instruction booklet that I give with all of my kits, I have these little icons which signify each different colour that you'll receive. So for example, we've got this little semicircle which is for the black thread, we've got this arrow which is for the pale orange thread, and so on. So each colour has got its own little symbol, and what we then have got is a cross-stitch chart. And you should see all of those little symbols making up the image that you're going to create with your stitches. So there are two different kinds of stitches on here as shown at the bottom of the page. So there is a whole cross stitch, which is where the stitch fills the whole square, and that is a full square. And then there's a 3/4 cross stitch where the stitch only fills half of the square, like so. And that is essentially just filling half of that square. So you can see here that we've got some here that are full squares, so they're whole cross stitches, and then these ones that are just covering half of the grid, they are 3/4 cross stitches. So you should be able to see quite easily which are which, and some cross-stitch charts will be in black and white. So if I turn this over to show you the long stitch on the back, you can see here that you've only got the symbols and they're not colour-coded. These are not as detailed, so I don't like to provide them in my kits. I like to provide you with a full colour version, but some kits you get from elsewhere may just have these black and white symbols, but you should still be able to tell which is which by the different shapes inside the grid. And in terms of how we're going to do the back stitch and the long stitch, we read this chart in exactly the same way. So you should have a little list of the back stitch and long stitch colours alongside the colour that signifies that line. So for example, we've got this dark orange, which is this red line. So if I find my back stitch long stitch chart, you can see the red line and where that sits on the page. So that should help you to be able to read your cross stitch charts, and I hope that all makes sense. If you do have any questions, just let me know.